Japan's vineyards span all four of its main islands, yet the heart of its winemaking culture lies on the largest island of Honshu and the northern island of Hokkaido. The top four regions represent the most significant contributors to Japan's steadily growing wine industry, accounting for over 70% of the total production volume of wine made from domestically cultivated grapes. Located near Mount Fuji is the Yamanashi Prefecture, which is the birthplace of Japanese wine. This region has more than 80 wineries and accounts for more than 30% of the country's wine production. The dominant variety in this region is the native pink grape Koshu, which makes up more than half of Yamanashi's production. Nagano Prefecture makes the climb into the Japanese Alps and is defined by its high-altitude vineyards and cooler, dry summers. The volcanic soil in the area is rich in minerals and provides a complexity to the wine. Here, many hybrid varieties are common, but there has been an increasing focus on European varietals, and many young winemakers are taking advantage of the climate to create some of the country's most complex wines. Moving north in Honshu is Yamagata Prefecture, which is a region shaped by a cool climate and fertile volcanic soil. Hybrid grapes such as Muscat Bailey A and Delaware thrive here, producing aromatic whites and light fruity reds that exemplify Japan's food-oriented wine style. Finally, on the largest northern island, Hokkaido Prefecture has a maritime climate with long winters and cooler summers, which gives the wines of this region a high acidity. Numerous cold-resistant grape varieties thrive in this region, including various hybrids, as well as Pinot Noir and Chardonnay. Hokkaido is also gaining a popularity for its sparkling wines.
Japan is home to a mix of unique indigenous grapes as well as well-known international varietals. One of their signature grapes is the Koshu grape. This makes a white wine. It's an indigenous, or at least very old, pink-skinned grape. This is Japan's most important and famous grape. It produces delicate, crisp, and clean white wines that are typically low in alcohol and have subtle notes of Japanese citrus, white peach, and jasmine. Typically, they pair exceptionally well with Japanese cuisine, especially sushi and tempura. Another signature grape to Japan is the Muscat Bailey A. This is Japan's most planted red grape. It's a hybrid grape developed in Japan in the 1920s. It creates a fruity, low-tannin red wine. The aroma is often described as strawberry or candy-like. It's an easy-drinking red that can be served lightly chilled. Their third signature grape is the wild mountain grape, Yamabudo, which is used in some artisanal and natural wines. Wines made from Yamabudo tend to be earthy, tart, and rustic, with high acidity and bold tannins. They often carry notes of forest berries, herbs, and wild flora. They are known, however, for being difficult to cultivate and produce wine with. The fruits are about the size of the tip of a pinky finger and contain 3 or 4 seeds. Compared to ordinary wine grapes, they are less juicy, so more grapes are needed. Because of its unique profile and limited cultivation, Yamabudo is prized by small-scale and experimental winemakers. It's often featured in natural wines that emphasize terroir and minimal processing. As far as international varietals go, Japanese wineries are also familiar with growing grapes such as Merlot, Chardonnay, Cabernet Sauvignon, and Kerner, a German grape popular in the cool climate of Hokkaido.
Financial impact on the region. Japan is a much smaller producer of wine in comparison to other countries. Based on production volume, Japan was the 23rd largest wine producer in 2023. Most wine sold and consumed in Japan is imported from other countries, which is about $1.6 billion as of 2024. However, the majority of wine produced in Japan does not get exported to other countries. Wine production in certain regions has a significant impact on the agritourism industry. Despite the small scale, Japanese wine production still has a significant impact. Its focus on quality and uniqueness make wineries and vineyards an interesting attraction for tourists. Yamanashi, a region referred to as the Napa Valley of Japan, is one of these. Many people visit the region for winery tours and tastings. And Nihon wine is wine that is made 100% from grapes grown in Japan. A new legal designation was made for Japanese wine in 2018 that ensures its authenticity. And by guaranteeing the origin and quality of these wines, the value of domestic wines has increased since.
Soil and weather influences. Wine grapes in Japan are primarily grown in volcanic soils near Mount Fuji in the Yamanashi Prefecture. Volcanoes contribute to rich, fertile soil due to the volcanic ash, basalt, and granite, which is not ideal for wine. Factors such as high altitude and drainage make up for these weaknesses and make it ideal for wine grape growing. Volcanic rock creates minerality in some areas like Kashu Valley and Katsunuma. Some of the contributing factors that make it excellent for wine grape growing is the drainage due to volcanic rock, steep slopes, and sandy components. This helps maintain moisture, prevents waterlog within the roots due to Japan's high rainfall. Other factors such as high altitude and the drainage contribute to low nutrients absorption, which is good for high-quality wine grapes. Some areas have clay-based soil, which can lead to a balance of good nutrients when mixed with other different types of soil. When it comes to weather, high humidity and rainfall can make growing wine grapes challenging. However, the temperature differences between night and day due to the high elevation of Mount Fuji contribute to growing a more balanced grape. Humidity can be an issue because it causes the plant to rot, whereas rain during harvest can harm sensitive grapes such as Pinot Noir.
While wild grapes like the Vitis amurensis you see here have grown in Japan for centuries, the modern wine industry only began during the Meiji Restoration in the 1870s. As Japan opened to the West, it looked to Europe. The government sent students to France to learn professional winemaking, which kickstarted the entire industry. The birthplace of this new industry was Yamanashi, which is still the heart of Japanese wine country, as you can see in the photo with Mount Fuji. The first major winery was founded there in 1877, a company that would eventually become the famous Suntory. For decades, the focus was on sweet wines, but in the last 20 to 30 years, there has been a quality revolution. Winemakers are creating high-quality, world-class dry wines, especially from unique native grapes like the pink-skinned Koshu you see here.
One of the interesting facts about the Japanese winemaking industry are some of the unique farming techniques they use. The Tana or pergola system. Due to the extreme rain and humidity, Japanese farmers can't use the neat vertical rows of vines you see in most of the world. They use a unique system called Tana, or the pergola system. The vines are trained up high on overhead trellises, creating a large, flat roof or canopy of leaves. Why do they do this? This does two critical things. It lifts the grapes far off the wet ground. It allows air to circulate freely underneath the canopy, drying the leaves and grapes and helping prevent mold and rot. Another interesting fact is that there are hats for grapes. In many vineyards, you will see individual grape bunches meticulously covered with small paper or wax hats, or kasa. These are put on by hand to protect the delicate grapes from the heavy rain and prevent them from splitting. This shows the incredible labor-intensive detail that goes into Japanese viticulture.